people living like they ain't got no mamas. I think the whole world's addicted to the drama, only attracted to things that'll bring the trauma. Overseas, yeah, we trying to stop terrorism, but we still got terrorists here living in the USA, the KKK. I can't believe they still hating blacks today. Cause if you only have love for your own race, then you only leave space to discriminate. And to discriminate only generates hate. And when you hate, then you're bound to get irate. Yeah.
Who are we? We're the ones who step up for each other. I've got your back. You've got mine. Kindness, humility, empathy. It's not just talk. It's who we are. It's who we always have been. And no one can take that from us. The movement to bring it back, it started here. And here. And here. In school gymnasiums, community centers, the living room down the block. You'll be where? Okay, we'll be there. Who are we? We're the movement that will beat Donald Trump. Welcome. We're going to have to sweat for it. We're going to have to sacrifice and fight. We're going to have to lead. Everyone is going to have to lead with kindness, humility, empathy, and not just talk, but action. Action today, action tomorrow. Action until we win. And we will win if we do this together. It's who we are. It's who we always have been. Now let's show them.
Welcome to this Biden-Harris campaign event. UW-Madison virtual What's at Stake GOTV rally with Senator Bernie Sanders. Please welcome Efrat.
Now here you go again, you say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should play the way you feel it. But listen carefully to the sound of the loneliness, like a heartbeat that drives you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost and what you had and what you lost. Thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you know. Now here I go again, I see the crystal visions. I keep my visions to myself. It's only me who wants to wrap around your dreams and have you any dreams you'd like to sell. Dreams alone, it's like a heartbeat that drives you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost and what you had and what you lost. Thunder only happens when it's raining. say women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes, you clean your low. Thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes, you clean your low. You will know. You will know. You know. Thank you for listening. Now, please welcome Congressman Pocan.
Thank you very much. And let's thank Efrat for that wonderful song to kick off this event. Badgers, I am so proud to represent you in Congress, and thank you all for being here today. Let me make it real simple. Our hard work in the next 4 days will make sure that we don't have 4 more years of Donald Trump. If you think about it that way, we can do anything between now and 8 p.m. on Tuesday to make sure that we have a very different country and different leadership so that we can, again, restore respect and honor to our federal government. And we have 2 days left to vote early. You can still vote today and tomorrow, but if you don't vote today or tomorrow, you will have to vote on November 3rd on Election Day. So just make sure if you have that opportunity, please vote, get out and get that done, because we know what's riding on the election on Tuesday. You know, we have had Donald Trump recently come to Wisconsin a whole bunch in the last couple of weeks with all kinds of super spreader events because he doesn't believe in the science of COVID. He doesn't believe in science. He doesn't believe in healthcare. The good news is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris do. And not only will we make sure that we are expanding healthcare to more people, but he will put in place the pandemic response we need to make sure that we are addressing COVID and helping the people that need help so bad right now, those who are unemployed, the small business owners who've lost demand. 1 out of every 5 small businesses is closed since the start of COVID-19 because Donald Trump has not handled this correctly. And Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have plans to take care of all of that. We also know that Donald Trump refuses to accept the science of climate change, and he's continually knocked down environmental regulations and rules in place to protect our water and our air. And again, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will take care of that. And as anything that we do, we are going to move forward in a green climate way and making sure that we're recognizing the green job economy that's out there that you'll be able to participate in as you leave the University of Wisconsin. Also, higher education. There's been nothing done to help people in affordability of higher education under Donald Trump. The good news is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they are going to make sure that for families that make under $125,000, that it will be free public college for everyone who falls in that area. And that will help so many people not to have to bring that heavy debt load going forward. There's so much more out there, but we know there are many issues that are out there. The good news is we can do something about it in the next 4 days by voting early, by helping us make phone calls and talking to your friends and knocking on doors. We can make sure that people know just what the stakes are coming out for the election. We may be doing all right in the polls, but polls don't vote, people vote. And that's the work that we all have to do that's so very important. And you know, one other thing I think it's important. You and Donald Trump have something in common. Now, I know you're going to be a little shocked, right? I can't imagine very much, but you each have one vote, and you using your vote to have your voice to make sure that he's not going to have 4 more years can take care of everything that we've had to endure with him on a daily basis. So there is so much. We just want to ask everyone who can do more with phone banks to help in the next 4 days. If you can do more in dropping lit in the next 4 days, if you can do more with friend banking, reach out to your friends, do that. We need your help, but we need you to early vote if you haven't voted today or tomorrow. That's one of the first most important things. So thanks so much. I'm so glad to be here with you all today. The good news is I am very honored that I get to introduce someone who is, I think we should be calling him America's senator. Bernie Sanders has been an amazing voice for so many progressive issues. Because of him, we now talk about Medicare for all, a Green New Deal, taxing the wealthy. There are so many issues. He's the one who brought free college to the table as a conversation. And we are so fortunate that he has been our voice for so long. And I want to add one more thing. I don't think there is a stronger voice for workers and working families in this country than Bernie Sanders. I've watched the legislation he's introduced, the comments he's made, the work he's done, and we need to give workers that say again in their workplaces so they can have safe working conditions and good benefits and good wages. It'll benefit every single one of us. And Bernie Sanders has been that person. I am so proud that I have been able to have been a supporter of his and voted for him twice for president. But he has been such an amazing team player and doing everything he can to get Joe Biden and Kamala Harris elected. It is my great honor to introduce America's Senator Bernie Sanders.
Mark, thank you so much. And to the people of Wisconsin, you are very fortunate in having Mark Buchan as one of your members of Congress, because he is one of the strongest progressives in the entire Congress. So Mark, it's been an honor working with you, and thank you so much for the great work that you do. Let me just mention to my friends in Wisconsin what you already know, is that 4 years ago, Donald Trump won the state of Wisconsin by less than 30,000 votes because the turnout was not what it should have been. Let us not make this mistake again. As Mark indicated, this is the most important election in the modern history of this country. And in my view, it is imperative that we defeat Donald Trump because he is the most dangerous president that this country has ever had. This is a president who is a pathological liar. He lies all of the time. He cannot control himself. All of you know that the pandemic is surging all across this country. Yesterday, we had more cases reported than ever before. And Trump is on the campaign trail saying, we are turning the corner on the pandemic. That is a lie. And as Mark just indicated, they do not have a national plan, a protocol on how to deal with the pandemic because they do not believe in science. And in fact, they have insulted scientists like Dr. Fauci, calling him an idiot. So we need to turn this page on Donald Trump. But I want to tell you something else. This election is, yes, it's about the economy. It's about raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour, equal pay for equal work. It's about rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure and creating millions of jobs. Real difference there between Biden and Trump. It's about a president, Donald Trump, who thinks that climate change is a hoax, and a candidate, Joe Biden, who wants to invest $2 trillion, create millions of jobs, transforming our energy system away from fossil fuel and combating climate change. It's about education. And again, as Mark said, it happens that Wisconsin has one of the highest rates of student debt of any country, any state in the country. And we have a president who has done absolutely nothing to deal with the high cost of college or with student debt. And in Joe Biden, you have somebody who says that any family making less than $125,000 a year, your kids are going to be able to go to a public college or a university tuition free. And he's also making some significant steps forward to cancel student debt. So this campaign is about the economy. It's about healthcare. You got one person, Trump, who says we're going to repeal the Affordable Care Act. What does that mean? Well, it means we throw some 22 million people off of the health insurance they currently have. A total disaster. And it's another person, Joe Biden says, you know what, we got to expand healthcare, move to universal healthcare. We got to lower the cost of prescription drugs. But this campaign is more than just the economy. It's more than just the difference of opinion on healthcare or on climate change. The reason that this is the most important election in the modern history of our country is that it's not just Biden versus Trump. It is about retaining American democracy. Now, maybe you think I'm overstating that. I'm not. You got a president who really does not believe in our Constitution, does not believe in the separation of powers, what is Congress's responsibility, the court's responsibility, the president's responsibility. Doesn't believe in that. You got a president who believes he is above the law. Hey, he's president. He can do anything he wants. And right now, in the most shocking and ugly way imaginable, you have a president and a Republican Party who are doing everything they can to suppress the vote all over this country. They're trying to make it harder for poor people, for people of color, for young people to participate in the political process. We have had historically one of the lowest voter turnout rates of any major country on earth. You would think that we would try to make it easier for people to participate, not Trump, not the Republicans. They are working overtime in state after state after state, trying to make it as difficult as possible for people who might vote against them to participate in this election. They are intimidating people who choose to vote. And now they're working very hard to make sure that in various states, mail-in ballots will not even be counted. And on top of all of that, you got a president of the United States, hard to believe. He says, well, yeah, when asked whether he would leave office peacefully if he loses the election, he says, well, we'll see about that. This is not what America is about. So in the next Saturday, Sunday, Monday, next 3-4 days, Tuesday as well, we all have got to do everything that we can, not only to come out and vote ourselves, but to bring our friends, our fellow students, co-workers, everybody else. Now, I know sometimes it's uncomfortable about badgering your friends to tell them to come out to vote. You feel a little bit uncomfortable about it. Well, you know what? You're going to feel a little bit more uncomfortable if Trump wins Wisconsin by a handful of votes. And that's what you wake up to on Wednesday. So I'd rather you be uncomfortable now than uncomfortable on Wednesday. So here we are. Wisconsin is a major battleground state. If Biden wins, Wisconsin is an excellent chance he will become our next president. So let us do everything that we can in the next 3 or 4 days. Work really hard to bring out the vote and elect Joe Biden. Kamala Harris is our next president and vice president. Thank you all very, very much. And now I'd like to introduce Madeline Miner.
Hello, everyone. Hi. I would like to start off with a huge thank you to Efrat for your wonderful music, Representative Pocan for being here and speaking, and especially Senator Sanders for virtually coming to Wisconsin. It's so exciting to see you here. We're just so grateful to have your remarks, and we're so excited that we have so many volunteers here ready to put in the work where it's just so critical. So I'm going to share my screen quickly. And we are going to get started with a bit of a training and some updates for the dialer. Alrighty. So before we get started, I just want to encourage everybody to download the Vote Joe app. You can text ACT to 30330. It's super helpful. I actually just saved a couple of my friends' votes just by texting them through the app. It's really cool. And, you know, it helps out a lot of people. So a couple of the reasons we are making calls today, we want to identify supporters of Joe, Kamala, and Democrats up and down the ballot. We want to connect with people who are undecided to talk to them about why we support our candidates, as well as educate our supporters about their voting options and make a plan with them to vote so they are all set to have their voices heard. So what to expect today, contact rates do vary based on how many people are calling. So it switches here and there, how long it takes to have people pick up and everything. You will probably get some hangups before you even get the chance to speak, just dead air. It happens when you pick up and you wait and there's nothing there. It happens. And also refusals. It's part of the tool when people just say that they're busy or they don't want to speak. It's not personal. You get used to it. It happens. The most important part of the calls are making plans to vote with our supporters. When we ask them things like, how are they getting there? Where will they go? Like, when are they going? They picture themselves doing that and following the steps, and it makes them much, much more likely to actually follow through with that and vote. Another quick reminder is that same-day voter registration is an option here in Wisconsin. So if people are not registered to vote yet, no need to worry, they can still get that done. To use the dialer, you are going to need your computer, your phone, Chrome or Firefox. If you have a Mac, Safari won't work, unfortunately. Wi-Fi, and then you don't need headphones, but they can be helpful if you just want to plug them into your phone. So for accessing the ThruTalk dialer, like I said, you cannot access the actual dialer on your Safari or phones and tablets. You have to have a computer with Google Chrome or Firefox as your browser, and you use a phone for the audio, for the actual speaking. So logging in, there should be a link in the chat that is being dropped to get to the dialer. So you just have to click that link and put it into Chrome or Firefox, and then there's going to be a login ID and a password, and you don't need to keep track of these. It's not like they're your things forever. You just get a new one generated every time. So you just copy and paste that. And then what you're going to do is the service we're using today is volunteer recruitment for the Victory 2020 dialer. So just look for volunteer recruitment when you hit that service thing. Call using computer, make sure that is unchecked, because otherwise you're going to be talking into your computer screen and it gets a little weird. So when that's unchecked and you click sign in, you will get the call-in instructions. So then you take out your phone, you can call that number, and then it'll say enter the number and then the pound sign. So then you enter that little number and it will hook you up to the dialer. The voters that you are calling will see a party provided number. It's not going to be your real phone number, so you don't have to worry about anybody getting your real information or anything. When you are ready to go, you just have to click to begin calling. I'm going to touch on the taking a break thing a little bit later. So when you hop on there, it's going to give you this screen. This is just like you're waiting. When you are waiting, you will hear a beep, and that means you are ready to talk. When you hear that beep, just start talking right away. You'll have the script in front of you. What happens is the dialer listens for someone's voice. So if you hear the beep, they've likely already said hello. So if you're not responding right away, it's going to be like weird, just like empty space. So you can just start talking right away. This is what your screen is going to look like when you're on a call. It's just the script and then some buttons for their responses. It's super simple. We're going to go through all of this. Like I said before, remember, you're going to hear a beep when the other person's on the line and you can start talking right away. So once you get connected, just make sure that you are talking to the right person. It's part of the script. So you can just click that you are talking to the correct person. And you can click not home if the line is silent, if someone else from the household answers, if you get a voicemail, which does happen sometimes, or if the voter answers but cannot talk right now. You can click refuse/hostile if the right person answers, but then they hang up after you're like, oh, my name is blank and I'm calling with the Wisconsin Democrats. If they hang up after that, which happens quite a bit sometimes, you can just click refused, or if they decline to share who they want to support in this election. And if someone actually answers, but then hangs up before you can even identify yourself, just put that as a hang up. So when you're having a conversation, it's super simple. You just get your little chunk of the script that you need, and then you will ask your question, and you can just put their answer in the button, and it will take you right to the next part of the script that you need to see. It's super nice. Like if they're a strong Democrat, you get to the wonderful, I'm so glad to hear it, and then you can just keep clicking, and it'll bring you through. If you get someone who's a strong Trump supporter, don't hang up your phone. I'm going to stress this a lot. Don't hang up on your phone that you're calling with, because it will mess up the dialer. So you just have to click On the left side, we're going to get into this in the next slide. Next call, talk to correct person. Just say like, have a nice afternoon. Thank you for your time. So the term codes, which sounds a little bit scarier than they actually are, they're on the left. It's just how you move on to your next call. It's just a little drop-down box. There's talk to correct person, no contact, and remove number. For these, if you talk to the right person, obviously click that. That means we won't call them again because we don't need to speak to them again today. If they hang up on you after you've confirmed who they are, use that one. If you didn't make any contact with them and it was just kind of like dead air or they didn't speak at all,